The skin deep. Jake's acne started in 8th grade. Not light acne, not a few pimples that cleared up with drugstore cream. Severe cystic acne that covered his face, his back, his shoulders. Painful, persistent, and impossible to hide. He tried everything, every face wash, every cream, every home remedy suggested by relatives. Nothing worked. His dermatologist put him on medication that would take months to show results. Meanwhile, Jake had to go to school looking like what his classmates called pizza face. The comments started immediately. "Dude, what's wrong with your face? That's disgusting. You should wash your face more. Do you even shower?" Jake wanted to scream that yes, he washed his face, twice daily, with prescription soap. That acne wasn't about hygiene, it was hormones, genetics, bad luck. That he was trying everything doctors recommended, that he couldn't help it, but explaining felt defensive. So Jake stayed quiet while comments kept coming. It got worse. When school pictures came, Jake's photo looked exactly like he looked. Face covered in acne, skin inflamed, clearly uncomfortable. The photos were posted online by yearbook committee. Within hours, someone had created a meme. "Before and after meth," the caption read, using Jake's school photo as the after. It went viral in their school. Kids Jake had never met laughed at him in hallways. Someone edited his photo to make the acne even worse. Another person made a TikTok about gross people at our school, featuring his picture. Jake stopped going to school, developed severe social anxiety, couldn't look at mirrors without wanting to destroy them, started picking at his skin compulsively, making the acne worse, creating scars that would last forever. His parents were heartbroken, angry at the school for not protecting him, angry at classmates for being cruel, but mostly scared because Jake was displaying signs of depression severe enough to worry about suicide. They pulled him from school temporarily, homeschooled him while intensifying medical treatment, put him in therapy for body dysmorphia and social anxiety, fought the school district to have the photos and memes removed, and the students who created them disciplined. The school's response was inadequate. Kids joke around. We can't police everything online. But these weren't jokes. They were targeted harassment that had driven a student out of school and into mental health crisis. Jake's therapist helped him understand that the bullying was about power, not about his skin. That bullies targeted visible differences because they were easy ammunition. That Jake's acne was medical condition, not moral failure. Understanding didn't make it hurt less, but it helped Jake separate his worth from his appearance. After 4 months of intensive treatment, both medical and psychological, Jake returned to school. His acne was better but not gone. Would likely never be completely clear. He'd have to learn to live in skin that didn't match society's expectations. He expected the worst. Braced for comments, memes, continued harassment. Instead, something unexpected happened. A girl named Alicia, who had her own visible skin condition, eczema, that left patches of discoloration, sat with him at lunch. "They made memes about me too," she said. "Called me cowgirl because of the patches. They talked about appearance-based bullying, about how schools ignored it because it seemed less serious than other forms of harassment, about how cultural obsession with perfect skin made teenagers with normal dermatological issues feel like monsters." Alicia introduced Jake to others with visible differences, kids with birthmarks, severe acne, skin conditions, facial asymmetries, a whole community of students bullied for things beyond their control. Together they started a campaign, Skin Deep. They created presentations about appearance-based bullying, educated students about skin conditions, challenged the idea that visible differences were flaws needing fixing. They pushed back against photo editing apps that promised to fix skin, against beauty standards that equated clear skin with goodness, against the casual cruelty that treated people's medical conditions as punchlines. The campaign gained traction. Not everyone was receptive. Some still made comments, still laughed at differences, but enough students listened that the culture shifted slightly, enough to make school safer for kids whose bodies didn't conform. Jake's acne improved with continued treatment. By senior year, it was mild enough to be manageable, but the scars remained, physical and emotional. He kept one thing, the original meme someone had made of him, not as punishment, but as reminder of how cruel people could be over something trivial, reminder why he fought for kids facing what he'd faced. Jake went to college, studied dermatology, wanted to help teenagers navigate skin conditions, with both medical expertise and empathy from someone who'd been there. He never forgot what it felt like to be reduced to your appearance, to have people judge your character based on your skin, to feel like your body was betraying you, while classmates punished you for the betrayal. He treated his future patients with dignity, never minimized their concerns, understood that acne wasn't just cosmetic. It was pain, social isolation, mental health crisis for many teens. And he spoke at schools about appearance-based bullying, showed his own before photos, his scars, his journey, reminded students that visible differences didn't determine humanity, that bodies change, that medical conditions exist, that cruelty over things people can't control was the real ugliness. Your skin doesn't define your worth, Jake told teenagers struggling with what he'd struggled with. People who judge you for medical conditions reveal their own shallow character, not your value. He kept fighting. For skin-deep kids, people bullied for any visible difference, because if he could survive being pizza face and come out with empathy and tact, he could help others survive too. And maybe eventually, schools would stop treating appearance-based bullying as trivial, would recognize that mocking someone's body could destroy their mental health, would intervene before kids ended up where Jake had been, afraid to look in mirrors, afraid to go to school, afraid to exist in skin that didn't cooperate. Until then, Jake would keep speaking, keep treating, keep reminding teenagers that their skin was just skin, not their identity, not their destiny, not their worth. And sometimes that reminder was enough to help them survive until their skin cleared, or until they learned to exist peacefully in bodies that would never match magazine covers, but were worthy of respect regardless. Key facts: 85% of teenagers experience acne. 25% have severe cases. Appearance-based bullying severely impacts mental health, leading to social anxiety, depression, and suicide risk. Students with visible differences, skin conditions, birthmarks, asymmetries, face daily mockery, often dismissed as harmless. Dermatological conditions are medical issues, not hygiene failures or character flaws. Schools rarely intervene in appearance-based harassment despite significant harm.